Today we are joined by fellow podcaster Ashley Blaine Featherson-Jenkins and her sister Nkena Lawrence. Ashley is the host of Trials to Triumphs, which is the first original podcast coming from Oprah's own network. You may also know her from the hit Netflix series Dear White People. This dynamic sister duo shares with us how their strong, independent mama instilled in them the value of hard work and that making the family meals isn't just the mother's job. It's another fantastic episode of girl power and sisterly love. Happy Thursday, y'all.
Grab your fork and grab your knife. Morning, afternoon, and night. Mama's recipe and mine. We're about to have a good time. Hey sis, eat this. Hey sis, eat this. Woohoo! Yeah.
Hey, sis.
Hey, sis.
What's happening over there?
Well, it must be recording time because, per usual, Daisy's sitting next to me and farting. It's like every time, this poor dog.
She's just trying to create the mood.
It's like right when we start to record. I know. I'm like, I take a deep breath to start recording, and then I'm like, oh, God. Sorry, listeners. That's just not how I wanted it to go.
I'm sure there's plenty of people who are like on their Zoom calls and they're from home and there's their dog sitting next to them and they just rip one and they're like, can you show me that chart again?
Yes. Oh my God. Well, how's it going in Dallas?
It's going good.
Mom's birthday is coming up.
Yes, lots of birthdays to celebrate over the weekend, but Mama has been wanting to go to this restaurant called Cafe Momentum here in Dallas for so long. And it's really cool. I know you know about it, but I think our listeners should know about it too. A super unique business model.
Philanthropic.
Yep. It provides paid post-release internships for justice-involved youth, ages like 15 to 19. They do a 12-month internship with curriculum that rotates them all through the restaurant industry. So they can be line cooks or they can be front of house or they can be servers, and it teaches them social skills and coaching and development. It's really, really cool. They have them in Dallas, Nashville, and Pittsburgh.
So when you say post-release internship, so it's like children that have been incarcerated, like in juvenile...
Gone through the juvenile justice system. Yes.
And age, so like all of the waiters and all the servers and cooks and everything are ages 15 to 19, like young.
Yes. So they do have people that work there that are adults, because they also, this is funny, and I remember this from my serving days, I'm sure you do too, is you can't serve alcohol when you're under like 21, I guess.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So there'll be people there that are bringing you the wine and stuff.
Wow, what a great cause. That's really, really cool.
Chef Chad Hauser is the founder and executive chef, and they've expanded to those other 2 locations.
What kind of food is it?
The food is great. It changes. They get a lot of their produce and meats from local places in Dallas. I'm assuming it's like that in the other locations. So we had amazing biscuits. Oh, man. Really good biscuits. I had the barramundi,
fish.
Oh my gosh.
Yum.
This piece of fish was massive too. It was so perfectly cooked, so delicious. It came over a bed of zucchini noodles. They also specialize in a smoked fried chicken. So Avi, Big D, got that. And so did Mama. It was really great. And then Lance had the strip steak. That was delicious. And it was just an overall wonderful meal. We so enjoyed it.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
What a wonderful way to spend your birthday. And you're giving back to the community, which I love even more.
Yes. So something funny kind of happened when we were at dinner last night. Lance looked over and saw somebody had like a plate of sweet potato fries. And he said, I don't see this on the menu, but those look delicious.
Ooh, a secret menu item.
I'm like, well, maybe it's part of a special or something. So we were talking to one of the women who was bringing us our wine, and we're like, what's that sweet potato fry thing over there? And she's like, oh, I don't know. Let me go ask. So this woman comes over to our table and she said, so I hear you guys are wanting some sweet potato fries. Well, those aren't on the menu, and I work here. I'm the chief program officer. My name's Dr. Portia Heyman, and my daughter comes to the restaurant frequently, and we had the sweet potatoes in the past. So now the chef will go ahead, if he knows we're coming in, and make her a plate of sweet potato fries.
Oh,
She gave us her card and said, if we come in next time and we give them a heads up, they'll make the sweet potato fries for us.
Oh,
I hope we're not giving away a huge secret and opening the floodgates.
well, either that or they're just going to have to put the sweet potato fries back on the menu.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But we got to talking with her, really, really cool woman. And I said, well, I have a podcast with my sister called Hey Sis, Eat This. We have on siblings. I'd love to have you on to talk about the Cafe Momentum program. And she said, well, I have a sister and she lives in Mississippi, and she's actually the best chef I know. And we'd love to come on. I've never been on a podcast before. I'm so excited about this.
Oh, wow. That's so cute. All right. That's wonderful. We'd love to have her come on and share about this wonderful program.
Yes. So it was a really
Awesome.
fun night. I'm glad we did. We'll have to go next time you come back in.
I really like that you're dining with a purpose.
Yeah, me too. So we had that fabulous dinner, but Mom's birthday is actually tomorrow. So I went ahead, since we just had Susan Sarich on from Susie Cakes.
Yeah.
I thought, wouldn't it be so cute to get Mom a Barbie cake?
Because she loves Barbie and she loves cake.
Yes. So I ordered the Barbie cake. I'm going to pick it up tomorrow. I can't wait.
What flavor?
Chocolate with vanilla cream and the vanilla icing in pink with Susie Blue writing on it that says, Happy Birthday, Mama, LYLYS.
Oh, cute. Well, speaking of Barbie cakes, I am getting one too, because Barbie movie streaming comes out on, I think, the 13th this week. I think it is. And Reagan invited a bunch of her other 7th grade girlfriends over, and I'm going to get a Barbie Susie Cakes, and we're going to have a screening at my house with some teens, some preteens. It'll be so fun.
That's so cute. Do you want me to send you my naked Barbie unitard?
Maybe not, but you could.
Hey, I mean, it's always a hit when I wear it.
Well, I'm sure. But when 5 12-year-old girls come through the door and the mom's dressed as a naked Barbie, I'm not sure how that's going to go over.
Right. You're like, but I'm a cool mom.
Yeah. As I meet them with a tray of Cosmos.
Yes.
I'm a cool mom. Just kidding. If anyone is listening, that's friends with my daughter. So yeah, that sounds so fun. Well, I'm excited about all that.
Yeah, we'll post videos and stuff of that.
Oh, and wait, for Mom, I just have to tell you what I got her for her birthday. She doesn't know. And by the time this releases, it will be past. But I bought her 2 big boxes of Giada De Laurentiis, all of the accoutrements from her e-commerce site, Giadzi, that sells like fresh pastas and olive oils. And I got her like salted capers and like all these Italian delicacies. And one of the gift boxes that I got was, I think it's like Italian girls cocktail night or something. So wait for that till I come to town and we can have like an Italian cocktail party. And it's got like little Italian cookie crackers and cheese and stuff that we can do.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I love that idea. That sounds perfect.
So thank you, Giada. We're excited to try that.
I got her a gift card to Queen Bee Spa that we love so very much in Dallas and Los Angeles, because she's like, I need to go get my face waxed.
Oh, God. I know what happens as we age. Well, I was celebrating a birthday at my house last night, too. We had a big old celebration.
I know one of our other favorites and former guest.
My BFF, Mary, one of the identical twins. I threw her, I can't even believe she's only 40, but yes, a 40th birthday party. It was only a few couples. It was really small, but it was so lovely. And the best part about it, Whitney, was that we hired a chef instead of me cooking. Originally, I was going to cook the whole meal. And then Mary was like, no, I want you to be part of it. I want you to enjoy the day. So thank God she did, because I had a week last week, with everybody being sick.
Oh, you wouldn't have been able to pull it off, honestly.
I wouldn't have been able to pull it off. And this woman was incredible. So I've had my fair share of chefs and caterers come in over the years and host parties as we do. And this woman, Gina Clark, she is the founder and head chef for Malibu Seaside Chefs. And she's a bit of a, chef to celebrities and really high-end clients everywhere. And she is amazing. And the food was incredible. The highlight was this Denver steak. It was a filet. I think it was a tenderloin and steak tenderloin with chimichurri sauce. Not only fresh herbs, she uses basil and mint and all these different herbs.
Gosh, I love a chimmy.
But then she also on the bottom does a red wine reduction. So there's like 2 sauces going on. And it was, you would think it's overpowering, but it's not. They did smashed potatoes and this roasted broccolini, and it sounds, broccolini boring. It was not. It was everything was just done perfectly.
Well, that's exciting.
Shout out to Gina of Malibu Seaside Chefs because she did a great job. And also the party led to karaoke, of course, as it typically does sometimes at my house. And I had to kick them out at midnight because I couldn't take it anymore. And they were just going on and on. There was a lot of Madonna.
I was about to say, what were some of the hits and misses?
There were a lot of misses. There were a lot of the hits would be, I think, all the 90s rap.
Ooh, that's hard.
I mean, I never knew that I could pull off Freaks of the Industry from Digital Underground so well.
Oh, I could totally do that one.
Oh, yeah.
Pound for pound. Taxing it and waxing it and moving it around.
Yeah. And a booty starts slapping and making that slapping sound.
Noise.
Yeah, clapping sound. I mean, it was so funny. I was in high school all over again, but it was really fun. Of course, I got a Proud Mary in there.
Obvi.
Birthday girl Mary requested it.
Was this a Proud Mary R.I.P. Tina? That was your first one?
It was my first.
How did it go?
Since the passing of our queen, of our legend. And I did look up to the sky and blew her a kiss and said, R.I.P. Tina, I love you. And I just let it go. I let it go. I channeled that inner Tina.
Yes.
I just, da-da-da, da-da-da, my hair going, my everything. One husband there, little buttoned up guy was watching me like, what on earth is happening? This woman's possessed, but I didn't care.
It is kind of what happens when we do that.
Yeah. Yeah. So now it's back to the grind. I just have this one question for you. The kids are currently putting up Halloween decorations and it's September 10th. Is that too early? Because you're the expert.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the rule?
Okay. So, Mama Ashley and Dwight had Lance come and do some back-breaking work that they're like, it's just 2 little trees. Bullshit. I'm like, Mom, you need to buy him something. Like he is killing himself over there. So he wanted a witch for Halloween.
A witch?
Yes.
Like a life-size witch or something to add to your collection?
Yes. I don't know what it does, but she ordered it and it came last week and he was out of town. I said, your witch is here.
Is this like a $300 witch or something? It's like crazy.
Yeah. Because we go all out.
He's trimming trees for witches.
Yes. Witches and bitches. So anyway, he hasn't opened it yet. And I said, well, you can open it, but it's not going out till October 1st. I mean, it's a no-no in my house, but hey, get your Halloween on. It keeps them busy.
You say that October 1st is the day because I actually just let them do it because we needed to record and I didn't want them bothering me. So I don't know what I'm going to walk out to, but I just heard them say a minute ago, I heard them scream, let's go do cobwebs. So that means they're outside putting cobwebs all over the front of the house, which I just paid somebody to come and wipe off all the cobwebs yesterday, the real ones.
The real ones. Oh, that's so funny.
Jesus, Daisy. Again.
Oh, boy. All right.
Anyway,
well, let's get you out of here.
I think that's our cue that we need to wrap up this intro.
Yeah.
I'm excited today to welcome Ashley Blaine Featherson-Jenkins and her sister, Nkena Lawrence, to the podcast.
I am too. This was a really fun episode. We got to be with them in Los Angeles. Ashley's super special, and we're so glad that she kind of fell into our laps from our good friend, Mary.
Whose birthday we just celebrated. Yes. All comes full circle.
Yeah. So she is an actress and she's also a fellow podcaster with her podcast called Trials to Triumphs.
Yeah, she's really cool. And her sister's a badass too.
She is.
their mom was this just strong powerhouse of a woman.
Mhm.
She played her cards close to her chest, as they say, but they always knew they were loved. She taught them how to be strong, to persevere, and education was always first and foremost and paramount in their lives. And it's a really fascinating episode. I think you'll love it.
I agree. I always say I agree, but I do agree with you.
I concur.
I'm going to start using I concur.
Yeah. But anyway, let's get into it. Ashley Blaine Featherson-Jenkins and Nkena Lawrence here on Hey Sis, Eat This.
Hey, sis.
Hey, sis. Well, we have a beautiful young lady here today who came to us through one of our other podcast guests from episode 17. I think they might have been partying in a pool together.
We were.
In Palm Springs,
Yes.
talking about podcasts.
That's exactly what happened. Yes.
And we are very excited to have Ashley and her sister here today.
Yes, we bonded over margaritas and sisterhood and podcasting when we invited her to lunch with us.
Yes.
Yeah, we stalked her when we heard we'll get into that. But when we heard she had a podcast, we were on her and we were like, we need to meet you.
We needed to know all the dirty details to fill us in and help us.
We are here today with Ashley Blaine Featherson-Jenkins and her beautiful sister, Nkena Lawrence. Welcome to Hey Sis, Eat This.
Thanks. Hello.
We're so happy to have y'all here. And Ashley Blaine Featherson-Jenkins, y'all know from the Netflix show Dear White People and Black and Sexy TV's Hello Cupid, which she is also co-creator. But Ashley's also the host of Trials to Triumphs, which is the first original podcast coming from Oprah's own network.
So exciting. And we're also joined by Ashley's sister, Nkena, as we said, whose career, I think this is so funny, has taken her from the halls of the U.S. Capitol building, where she worked for the late Congressman John Lewis, but now to the halls of the elementary school, where she's a first grade teacher and in Los Angeles. And she's a mama to her son, Christopher. And we're thrilled to have both of you here today. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. So excited.
Ashley, will you please tell our listeners a little bit about your podcast, Trials and Triumphs, and what inspired you to start it?
For sure. I created the podcast that I wanted. I have always been so inspired by the stories that people have shared with me about their trials to triumphs journey in their career. And, for me, I feel like so oftentimes we focus on like the highlight reels, right? We focus on like the exciting accomplishments that people have, but we forget the blood, sweat, and tears that go into them, that go into their careers before they get to that point. And for me, that's what I've always been inspired by, because it's the truth.
Right.
And so I really wanted to, peel back the layers,
Sure.
Get behind the curtain of a lot of our favorite stars, and not even just stars. I talked to a lot of authors. I talked to a lot of just change makers in the world. And I talked to even my friends or family members.
Right.
But I really wanted to start a podcast that could inspire people, where people could feel hope, where people could feel that they weren't alone, and where people could hopefully finish an episode and say, okay, maybe I was scared to do X, Y, and Z, but after hearing that such and such did it, I actually think that I can do it too.
It's really beautiful.
So again, I created the podcast that I wanted. And I think that's most important when creating anything,
For
is that
sure.
you have to create what you want first. If you don't see the need in it, then nobody else will either.
Right. It sounds like your podcast, and I've listened to it, it's beautiful.
Thank you.
Like ours, has a lot of relatable stories. So you are going for the more difficult stories. You are going for the things that people aren't going to be talking about first of mind. It's those stories that people listen to and go, "Oh my God, I can really relate to that."
Yeah.
So it's important what you're doing, and it's really exciting.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
So, Nkena, you are the older sister by 9 years. Court and I are 6 years apart, and it was difficult to say the least when we were growing up, having that age difference. What was y'all's relationship like during childhood?
During childhood, I think we had a really good relationship. I loved having a baby sister.
Aww.
I
didn't.
loved it.
Yeah.
It's okay. That's a different story.
I was cramping her style,
Well, it was the opposite for me. Nobody else had a sister that young.
Right.
Or a sibling that young. And so she was kind of like my doll. It was a different time period. So I could take her to high school games. I can't imagine letting a 15-year-old taking like a 4-year-old to a high school game today. But we could do that at that time.
Gosh, isn't that funny? Yeah, you think about that. And
Yeah.
I don't think there'd be a lot of 15-year-olds that would want to take their 4-year-old.
No, right. But I did. I loved taking her to the mall. We had a really, really great relationship when she was younger and a little bit older too, when she was in middle school. And, I got to live vicariously through her, or not so much vicariously, but I could go back to the days where you had your first crush.
And be a sounding board.
That's right. That's right. When you're so mad at your mom and you want to scream, I hate you. And,
I've been there, Ashley. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how I loved it. I think
Were
we
you
had it really
protective?
good. It really wasn't anything to be protective over.
Right.
We were really, really, really oddly good kids.
I can see that. I don't think that sounds odd. We were not.
Yeah.
We were very bad
We can't say the same for ourselves.
Yeah, we weren't like rebellious.
Not at all. Not at all. We were where we were supposed to be at all times. So really wasn't a need to be protective. And I think what's good is that even today, especially with Ash, but we've always surrounded ourselves with people who want to do well by us, not cause us
That's
harm.
everything. Surrounding yourself by the right people.
Yeah, for sure.
It's so important. Ashley, how was it for you being the one going to the high school games at 4 years old?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, for me, having a sister that was so much older, I just, in a lot of ways, just followed in her footsteps. Although we're very different, she did pageant, so I wanted to do pageant. She was into theater, so that's why I wanted to do theater. You know what I mean?
Inspiration.
She was a cheerleader at a point. I was a cheerleader at a certain point. So when I look back, there were a lot of things that, she really did lay the blueprint for me. And I'm really grateful for that. And I always tell people, I think what made you such a good sister, an older sister, was that she never felt like a second mom to me.
Oh,
so I think a lot of times people have older siblings and they mother them. But
or lecture them.
Lectured them. She's never been that way. And I really, really appreciate it. Of course, now we're both adults, so it's a different story. But of course she's going to give me sage advice and wisdom. And if I ask her something, she's going to, help me as best she can. But I never felt that she was mothering me. I always felt like I had one mother and I had a sister.
Sure.
Did you felt like I mothered you?
I don't think that you mothered me. I think a little bit
I
in
more ignored
college. Yeah, that's true. That's the honesty of it. But when I was in college, I think when I was partying too much and was getting bad grades, you were like, you need to get your shit together.
Yeah.
And
I did have that conversation with you.
whatever. But
you did.
But I did.
Yeah.
I did, yeah.
You might have said whatever, but you listened to me.
Because I was afraid you were going to tell mom too. And I was like, okay, I got this.
I probably did tell mom too. Or no, mom probably came to me and was like, she's partying and she's drinking too much and you need to talk to your sister.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wait, I have to go back to the pageant part.
Yeah.
I need to know about
I
these
hated
pageants.
pageants, actually.
Well, what is this like?
I
What we
loved
see
them.
like Honey Boo Boo pageants?
Did Momma Cynthia, who we're going to introduce in a minute, did she get you into the pageants? How did that come to be?
A lot of people think that, but no. Here's the thing. I cannot catch a ball to save my life.
Same.
I am slow, so I couldn't run. I really am not a great singer.
You're pretty.
And I really just needed an activity, right? I needed something to do. And what Pageants provided, all you have to bring to the table is yourself. And I was like, okay, I can do that.
And your charisma.
Sure, yeah.
And I can do that too. So yeah, I loved Pageants. I was the one that was, I subscribed to Pageantry magazine. Like I'm asking for registration fees and headshots and all of that.
But in a way, it probably was good for your self-esteem to make those accomplishments and get up there and have to
be in front of so many people.
There was that too, because the part about having such a younger sister, just like anybody who has a baby, is that the baby does take priority for a short period of time. So honestly, I hadn't really thought about it, but that was a way
you got attention
for me, right, to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, you were able to shine in that light.
Yeah.
What was your talent?
Talent is strong, but in the competition, I did dance and sing.
Okay.
Both of which I'm mediocre at, but
when you give it your all.
That's right.
You know what?
And you add that charisma.
Yeah,
push you over the top.
Did you do pageants too,
I did.
Ashley?
I didn't like them though. Like I think I just did them because she did them.
Yes.
So it was kind of, and in retrospect, I don't remember if it was our mom that said like, maybe you try this. Cause I don't really seem like the type to be like, I want to do a pageant.
No.
The other stuff makes sense. Like theater, singing, dancing, all of those things make sense. But I don't see myself wanting to be in a pageant. I actually did pretty well.
Sure.
Like, I wasn't like Miss Maryland or anything like that, but I wasn't like horrible. Like, but when I look back, I always won Miss Congeniality. Like that's what I would always win. Like
that's what I'd want to win anyway.
I totally agree.
I realized like it was the community part of it that I liked. I liked meeting other women or other young girls. And I think the other thing I did like about pageants, I guess, was the well-roundedness of it. When I look back, it's what I've always been attracted to. Like I was a musical theater major in college because I always wanted to kind of do multiple things. And in a pageant, you got to answer a question. You got to do a talent. You got to wear a pretty dress. You got to do this. And I liked all of that.
It's like early media training for you.
Exactly. But what I don't like is the competition of it, especially as it pertained to my body and my looks. And like that made me very uncomfortable. Like I never was going to be comfortable going out in a bikini in front of all these male judges or having people, judge me on if they like my dress or not. With pageants, it was just too much emphasis was placed on the aesthetics.
And the world's changed too. I wonder, are they still making kids go out in bikinis on stage in front of male judges? I sure hope not, but you never know.
I don't know. My kid won't be doing the pageant, so I don't know. We'll never find out. We'll never know.
That's funny. Ashley, we want to hear all about Momma Cynthia Featherson. What is she like?
She is really smart. She's interesting. Like my mom is like one of those people I always say like, I feel like I'll never really know her. Like I know her, but do I really know her?
Oh.
Like
She could work for the CIA maybe?
She could.
Is she a florist?
Yeah, she's like, she runs a laundromat. Like, yeah, no, I'm just kidding. She's a Capricorn, so she keeps a lot of things close to the chest. She's predictable. So she is predictable. I just need to remember that. As her daughter, I need to remember that she's predictable.
Mysterious and predictable.
Yeah. She really is someone who always wants to do right. Like she wants to do the right thing all the time. And if she's not doing the right thing, then it's like very upsetting to her. So I think that like that implies that she's a really good person because she wants to do good. And she wants to be good always. I feel like we come from a family of educators, from women educators. And I feel like there's a huge part of her that's like an educator. She's constantly learning and teaching and wanting to impart this or impart that. She's a great public speaker. She's had a pretty cool life.
What would you say, Nkena?
When you started, I was thinking like relationship status. It's complicated. Like that's exactly.
It's always complicated.
That's how it is. I think that was perfect. She's a very, very interesting mix of wanting to do everything right and be perceived in the right way, but wanting to keep a lot private and wanting to have great relationships with people, but wanting to be alone for most of the time, you know? It's like that. I also think that just like me and her mother, I think that being a mother is truly the most important thing to her. You know, I think that's big for her. And she comes from a time, to be fair, anybody who has a mother, our mother was coming up as an adult in the 60s.
Yeah.
That was really hard for Black people.
Absolutely.
It was really hard for women.
Yes.
And so,
And she was in the South, too.
and she was in the South.
Where is she from?
Virginia.
Oh, yeah.
Like Newport News, Hampton Roads.
Yeah,
area.
I mean, you got to think the kind of strength she had to have
Right.
to come up at that time, to be successful, to be an educator, to be a mom. I mean,
What did she do?
yeah.
So she graduated from high school, went to Howard University, which I'm also
Yes.
an alum
Wow.
of.
really
And
impressive.
she graduated from there, got an amazing job at IBM right after
Wow.
college.
This was a big deal at the
Sure,
time.
huge.
Did she get to cash out with IBM?
Yeah, I think she did actually.
Amazing.
Yeah.
From the South, getting a full college degree in the 60s. And
And her mother had a full college degree and a master's from
master's
NYU.
degree, our grandmother.
Our grandmother,
Oh my
her mom.
God.
So we come from like very accomplished
yes, that's incredible.
women who defied everything being Black women from the South. Yeah.
Yeah. And with that comes a lot of strength. It
Yeah.
does come with a lot of not being vulnerable. I always say,
Sure.
you know, that glass ceiling is real and a feather is not going to break that, right?
Right.
You got to be pretty strong.
Her life's work has mostly been in DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion.
So do you feel like she's put, and maybe your grandmother too, a lot of pressure on the two of you to keep that train going?
Or was it just instilled?
I don't know. How do you feel?
No, I definitely feel that way. I mean, but I think we have very different, like everything else, we have very different experiences with this. But yes, from the time that I was young, it was very much made clear that I was to represent our family as the best, to be the best, to get great grades, to, you know.
Like, you will go to college. You will do this.
All of that was there. And I think that's just what we did.
Right.
That's what we did. That's who we are. But I think when you came up, there was a little bit of, well, first of all, it's important to know that we have very different personalities too.
Yes.
And when Ash was born, she came out saying what she was going to do from day one.
It's like my little one.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So there was none of this, you know, pressure or you're going to do this or that did not exist.
The second ones are a little bit more opinionated. Just saying.
I think you have a different perspective about that.
Yeah. And I think nobody really talked to me about it because it just was implied. Like, it was kind of like, of course you're going to college. We went to college up in here. Why would you think you're not doing it?
Sure. Well, she sounds really, really powerful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
That's a great word to describe her.
Where does she live?
In LA. She moved to LA a month ago.
Oh,
no,
wow.
3 weeks ago.
Does she want to join us for dinner?
Yeah, I know. I'm like, we'll text her, see if she's around.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Well, we need to welcome her.
Yeah, she needs a welcome dinner.
Yeah.
Yes. Nkena, what was the dinner table like growing up?
Oh, interesting.
Y'all have a little bit of years apart.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
was it a place where y'all gathered every night, or were y'all busy pageantrying? And so, you know, maybe it was stop and go.
No, we ate together. In fact, we are the only family that I know of that ate together every night at the dinner table.
lovely.
Every single night. I have mixed feelings about it because it's not like on TV where they're sitting around and they're talking about their day.
Yeah.
and
Right.
No, it wasn't like that. It was purely to eat, right? Like that's what we did around the dinner table. But I appreciate the experience of having
together.
that. Yeah, being together.
The routine.
Having the routine and unlike maybe somebody who lives in my household, having an actual prepared meal every night, you know?
Yes.
And I really do appreciate that. Yeah. But I would say, I think because of the way that we were raised, and we were at the time untraditionally raised, where our father was the primary.
He was kind of Mr. Mom.
I don't want to say homemaker. Yeah. He was. And he was 100% in charge of meals. And generally, I found when that happens, kids aren't incorporated as much in the kitchen, right? Because a lot of times men seem to cook by themselves and then present a wonderful meal versus making it, you know, like a relational activity.
Well, it was a little different for me. Like I did sit at the island and watch him cook, but it was because I wanted to. Like when I look back, I always was intrigued by like the kitchen. Like I always wanted kitchen stuff. Like I liked my easy bake oven. Like I always liked to do things with food, and I've always loved food.
You're a foodie.
And I'm a foodie for sure. Like I've never just been someone that like eats for sustenance. Like I liked it to cook. So because my dad cooked every night, I wanted to sit at the island and like watch him know how to cook and stuff like that. And that's how I learned how to cook.
That's a nice memory.
I don't cook and she does.
Yeah.
I had 4 oranges for dinner last night.
So you had said your dad was the primary chef and not your mother. So how did that sort of come about?
Honestly, I think that my dad just always liked it a little bit more. Didn't Mom cook for you before I was around?
No, I mean, Mom cooked like I cook. And the only thing I'll say about that is, okay, it's fine. It comes out great. You can eat it. The child can eat it. It's fine. But we don't enjoy cooking.
Right.
It's not,
It's a necessity.
It's a necessity. Yeah. So she would do that.
Okay. And also, he had more of the schedule that could allow for it. Like my mom, he had more of a traditional schedule. Her schedule was kind of a little bit more all over the place. She also traveled a lot. He was the one that had the time to kind of go to the grocery store and make dinner. And again, he liked it.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite meals are like, I love his meatloaf, which I still make now. Chicken Divan is another one I used to love.
Forgot about that
Always
one.
wanted to make that.
And it's really easy to make. That's a good one.
So tell us about Chicken Divan. I know of it. I just don't know how to. I've never prepared it.
It's gonna sound bad, but
Okay.
it's kind of like a mayo / like cream of chicken / cream of broccoli based casserole dish with like
Traditional casserole.
chicken and rice and broccoli.
Yeah. My mom makes a chicken broccoli casserole that's sort of similar with like cream of mushroom soup.
It's really good. There's some Worcestershire in there.
Yeah.
There's some, it's garlicky, but it's one of my favorites. And actually, I haven't made it in a while, so I should probably make it.
That'd be a nice one to put up on our website.
Yeah, okay. And then we also have a tradition every year. We eat prime rib and lobster on Christmas Eve.
Yes, I want to come to your house.
I mean, I love lobster, but I love prime rib. Your husband and I made it. We bought that huge.
Oh my gosh.
We bought a 10-pound prime rib for Christmas,
wow.
and then I got COVID, and we had to, and it sat in my freezer. We ended up making it. It was good.
You did. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And now, so my dad has always made it, but now that we're in LA and kind of like our house has become kind of the Christmas house, I just get it from Lawry. It's like, I'm not making a prime rib.
Oh my God, that's so smart.
Well, there's no better prime rib than Lawry's.
Yeah, and I'm getting the lobster from Gelson's. Easy peasy. They crack it up already. Shout out to Gelson's. They need to sponsor the podcast.
Whitney's a master with that lobster. She knows how to crack that top, open it up.
I know how to make them where they like fan it on top.
Oh, he does that too. Sometimes he'll do lobster tail.
Yes. So I like picked that up one Valentine's because my husband and I, Lance, we do surf and turf on Valentine's.
Oh, I love that. What kind of turf do you do?
We'll usually do like a filet or a New York, something like that. We're big sous vide fans in our
Which
house.
I haven't done. I need to, I need to unlock that.
Oh, do you have one?
No. What's the haps about it?
So I got her into it too. She was very intimidated.
I was. It's not intimidating once you start.
So you can do, like, we got the vacuum seal, as my mom calls seal meal.
Oh.
I guess that was like what they were called back in the day.
When you guys do her accent, it cracks me up every time. Because you guys do it the exact same way, and it's so funny.
Well, you vacuum seal your meat. You can do fish, pork, chicken, really anything. Steak is the best, I think. And then you get a big pot of water and you stick the little sous vide in it. It's like a long, like microphone kind of thing. And then you can run it on your app. And so say I'm going to do a steak and I want it medium rare because I'm going to finish it off on the grill. You put it at 120, 122.
Yeah, it's all on your Bluetooth with your phone.
And it'll just circulate the water, and it cooks the meat in the water. And you can put spices in there, garlic, butter, rosemary
in the
pouch.
In the pouch. Okay.
The hardest part is getting that goddamn bag vacuum sealed correctly. That's the only hard part about it, because you got to get it right, just right for it to catch. But other than that, it's amazingly easy.
Once it's finished, it can sit in the water for like 2 hours. And then you take it out, and then you can either like do it in a cast iron just to like crisp it up, or do it on a grill.
What's the benefit of it, I guess, for the meat?
Perfectly cooked meat, like
Yes,
the perfect
every time.
temperature. Because otherwise, you have to keep an eye on it. This is like a lot of restaurants started doing it because when they want to make sure that the steak is absolutely perfect, you can just tee it up so you don't have to look at it. And then
Yes.
literally it takes like a little sear on either side, and then it's ready to go. I mean, it's a hack.
It's a hack. Okay.
It for sure is
and
a
like,
hack.
is it like getting the spices in there?
Well, it's that. And then also, I think with a steak like a strip or a New York or ribeye, when you have a lot of that fat in there, it helps melt the fat.
And the fat's where a lot of the flavor is.
Cooks so evenly.
All right, I'll ask for that for Christmas. I'll get into it.
I don't use it all the time, but when I do, I always get compliments. It's a good thing.
You guys are selling me on it.
So prime rib was a holiday meal in your home.
Prime rib and lobster.
Mama Ashley has her standout holiday dishes that we still make today. Did Momma Cynthia go big on Christmas? Like, what was that like in your household growing up?
Oh, Christmas was big in our household. Christmas was really, really big.
But my mom's birthday is the day after Christmas.
Oh,
So
that's hard.
she loves Christmas, but it's also her birthday too.
Sure.
So we always are doing something to celebrate her too, and always trying to make sure that it doesn't get like overshadowed.
Yeah, how do you make that work?
I mean, she gets 2 separate gifts.
And we're very careful to make sure that her birthday gift is never wrapped in green or red. I figure we all get balloons on our birthday. She should too. So
Yeah.
Cute.
Because I can totally see myself doing that, where I'm like, oh shit, I gotta get that gift. Oh, there's just some green wrapper.
There's a Santa bag over there.
Yes.
yeah.
Speaking of gifts, were there any gifts that y'all received growing up that maybe brings back a memory, Ashley?
Yeah. I mean, for my 5th grade graduation,
You get gifts on 5th grade graduation?
No, we don't.
I'm feeling like a really bad mom over here.
for my 5th grade graduation, they said I could get a dog. And so we got a Scottish Terrier named Roscoe.
Roscoe.
Yeah. My mom was actually very close to Roscoe. I mean, all of us were, but Roscoe and my mom had like a really good bond.
We talk about this sometimes, is that whether you got the dog or like I got a dog when I was in 1st grade, the mom's always taking care of the pet.
Well, it's so funny because my dad would say my mom was the one that was always traveling. So he's like, why does Roscoe want to be with her all the time? I'm the one that's here all the time with the dog. But he can talk about how mom gave our first dog away to the pizza man.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so Roscoe was not the first family dog.
Okay, we're going to need to hear a little bit about this.
So we rescued a dog, Pepper, who was insane.
What kind of dog?
Of dubious lineage is what our dad said.
He was like a terrier mix.
Yeah.
I was too young, so I don't remember him being bad.
No, but he was not really housebroken.
Right.
But the worst was it was my responsibility to walk the dog every night.
Okay.
Every night, that was my responsibility. And somehow the thing got off the leash at least 3 nights a week. So I'm running around the neighborhood, like trying to sit on the ground like you do for dogs, like, come here, like trick it to come over to you. And it also would run out of the house.
He was a runner. We had one of those.
So one night, my family's having pizza. The pizza man comes over and says, "Oh my goodness, what a cute dog!" The dog is like, like destroying the screen door right now. What a cute dog! And my mom, without a beat, said, "Great. Do you want him?" Just like that.
Oh my God.
And the guy said, yeah. She said, come back tomorrow and I will have all this stuff ready.
You are kidding.
So he did. He came back.
Oh my
She had
gosh.
everything, bowls, everything ready to go. Don't even know the pizza man's name, to be honest.
And that was the end of Pepper.
Yeah.
At least Momma Cynthia didn't take him to, quote, the farm like a lot of
that's
parents
true.
do.
Yeah.
You know, we have so many people come on this podcast and they're like, when we talk about animals, they say, yeah, well, Rover went to the farm and everybody knows what the farm is.
Is the farm the pound?
Or worse.
Yeah, euthanasia, the pound.
Oh, I've never heard of the farm.
Oh, you haven't heard of the farm?
No.
One of the sisters that came on here, she goes, every time we'd pass by a farm, I was looking for
Nicholas.
I was looking for Nicholas.
Oh, no. Yeah, he didn't go to the farm. He went to the pizza man.
He went to Domino's. Yeah.
Oh, that is hilarious.
I felt good about it though. And the reason is, because I don't want to make it seem like we were just heartless.
No.
This pizza man, for some reason, had a connection with this dog that was going bananas at the door.
They were working out some past life stuff, you know?
Yeah. And so I feel like the dog would go there and they
Thrive,
would
yeah.
love.
I think Pepper had a nice life.
I have to believe that Pepper had a good life.
I do too.
Pepper and the pizza man.
Cheers to Pepper.
Yeah.
When we were in high school and we first started driving, Whitney and I were pretty bad. I mean, I had multiple accidents. Whitney rear-ended our dad one night. Were either one of you a danger to society on the road when you were teenagers?
I was a little bit of a danger.
Yeah.
I ran over a mailbox in our neighborhood.
Oh,
How did that happen?
like a high mailbox?
Like one that has the post or whatever. This is the part of the story that no one's talking about, though. The car was faulty.
Oh.
My parents, my first car, they bought from our next door neighbor, Uncle Charlie.
Was it really your Uncle Charlie?
No.
Oh.
He was like a really nice white man
Yeah.
that just lived next door to us.
Neighbor Uncle Charlie.
He had an Explorer, and my parents like bought it from him, I think for probably like $75 or something. I don't know. I think it was a 96
Okay.
or a 94 or something like that.
It had some mileage on
It
it.
had some mileage on it. I'm getting this in 2004.
That's not that bad.
Anyway, I ran over the mailbox. My power steering was off. Kept trying to tell everyone, you guys, it's the steering wheel. And everyone was like, no, like I was getting in trouble.
Learn how to drive, Ashley.
You need to be more careful, whatever. So I was getting scolded for it. Then my junior and senior year in high school, I made a lot of friends that lived like a little bit further out. One time on the, I don't even know if you know this, my brakes stopped working.
Oh, that's
On
scary.
the highway.
Oh, Lord.
I'm freaking out. I don't even remember how I got them to stop. Ended up making it to my friend's house.
Oh my
But again,
gosh.
they're making it seem like it's my fault. I'm like, you guys, there's something wrong with this car.
Like, she's just a teenage driver.
You know, there were times I probably could have been a little bit better. I'm not saying that I was like the perfect driver, but I didn't have a safe vehicle.
Yeah.
They gave me an old car that had bad power
Did
steering.
the mailbox, was that an incident because the brakes weren't working? Or
It was my power it was the
Oh,
steering
power
wheel.
steering.
Also, my speedometer stopped working at one point. I couldn't tell if I had gas in my car. In retrospect, it was not a good car.
I don't know if Uncle Charlie was that good of a friend. I mean, he sounds like he kind of did you dirty.
That's a bad uncle.
Or did my parents not do their due diligence at like really inspecting the car to make sure this is a safe vehicle for their
They didn't.
16-year-old to drive?
Probably not.
She's clearly worked through these issues.
Yeah. We're working through them tonight, I'll tell you that.
One word to describe your mom, Nkena.
Oh, one word. Loyal.
Okay. Ashley?
That was a good one. Brilliant. Yeah.
Beautiful. Nkena, what's one trait that you got from Momma Cynthia?
Public speaking. You know, making sure that you are communicating effectively.
That's a good one to get. Ashley?
My tenacity. I'm going to get it done. And she's going to get it done for sure. If she says she's going to do something, she's going to get it done. And
Yeah.
I definitely have that. Like, I'm very reliable in that way.
Ashley, what's one thing that you would like to tell Momma Cynthia today on this podcast? Or that you'd want her to hear?
I would want her to hear that I hope she's really happy that her daughters are able to sit here on this podcast and hang out and talk with other sisters and talk about our childhood and say really like cool things about her too. And that we're able to both say things that we are both proud that we get from her, that I'm also really proud of her. Like, she's making a lot of changes in her life at 69. Although it's a lot for her and us, I think it's also really inspiring that you can do what you want to do at any age.
Absolutely.
You don't have to decide that it's over. You can create something new. And
God,
that's
I love that.
the perspective that I'm accepting about it.
Do you have anything to add to that, Nkena?
On that same note, that we are always constantly evolving, and she is a good example of how you can keep moving forward and trying new things. And I would want her to know that that does apply to everything. The way we are today is not the way we're going to be in 5 years. Same with her. So yeah, I would just want her to know I'm excited to see what the future holds for our relationship.
That's really sweet because life is ever changing.
I love that.
Nkena, what is your favorite thing about your mom?
Ash called it tenacity. When she does set her mind to something, she does it. That is something that I don't necessarily do. I'm very kind of chill and laid back, and whatever happens, happens. And I really do like the fact that she puts the time, effort, energy into seeing the vision and realizing it.
What about you, Ashley? What's your favorite thing?
My favorite thing about my mom is her ability to make people think. She makes us think. She makes, a lot of the people that she speaks to on a daily basis through her work think. Sometimes it's annoying. It challenges you.
It sounds like she helps people grow.
Yeah.
Well, ladies, this has been such a beautiful conversation. And I feel very grateful to have you both here today.
Ditto.
And to share with us about the powerful and incredible Momma Cynthia. Ashley, tell us where our listeners can find your podcast, where they can find you on social media.
Yeah, so you can find my podcast, Trials to Triumphs, wherever you listen to podcasts. Also, we're taking it to video, so you can also watch episodes now on YouTube.
Oh, fun.
And then you can find me on Instagram or TikTok at Ashley Blaine, Blaine with an E.
Thank you both so much. I know there was a reason that y'all came into our lives, and it wasn't just drinks by that pool.
Yes, I know.
I'm so glad to get to know you both better, and I can't wait to continue this friendship.
I know.
Thank you for having us. Truly, this is a gift, and it's really cool to like illuminate sisterhood. Like it's a cool club to be a part of. You guys are always growing in your relationship, and we're always growing in our relationship.
Absolutely.
So it's things like this that I think aid in like even strengthening it. So I'm really grateful that we were even just able to talk about our relationship.
Thanks, Ashley. You're going to make me cry, Ashley. That's so sweet.
No, it's a really great space you guys have created. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I am inspired that you guys do this together. I think that's a really beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to see. It's a beautiful thing to listen to and to actually witness it.
That
it
means
really
a lot.
is sisterhood. I'm looking at sisterhood personified. So
That means a lot. And we just have the best time doing it. And we have a blast with other siblings and sisters.
Yeah.
Well, we'll end it as we always do.
Sis, I love you. I love your show.
I love you. I love your show.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Thank you so much for listening to Hey Sis, Eat This. If you LOL'd, peed your pants a little bit, or even smirked, please hit subscribe if you haven't already. And feel free to rate and review, but only if it's positive.
Also, visit our website for recipes and to sign up for our newsletter at heysiseatthis.com.